Hi, you're on the Bible Forum. I'm Warren Sprouse. We're here every Sunday night from 8 to 10 p.m. Eastern Time. Are you paying any attention to what's going on in the world? I know you are. Something called the Rothschild Initiative has produced information that I think is important for us. It was reported to us from a website entitled thetrumpet.com. But apparently on December 8th of this year, 2020, an alliance of finance chiefs announced the launch of something they call the Council for Inclusive Capitalism with the Vatican. That's the total name. Council for the Inclusive Capitalism with the Vatican. The organization is a coalition of Fortune 500 companies affiliated with the Roman Catholic Church and operating under the guidance of Pope Francis and Cardinal Peter Turkson. The stated goal of the Council for Inclusive Capitalism with the Vatican is to, quote, build a fairer, more inclusive, and sustainable economic foundation for the world, end of quote. And they're going to do this by means of environmental, social, and corporate governance. This despite the Pope's latest encyclical, entitled Fratelli Tutti, which is a scathing rebuke of free market capitalism. So we're looking at all of this in that light. Another deceit. The true person of the organization appears to be an purpose of the organization appears to be an effort for a centrally planned economy, with the Vatican doing the central planning. The council is led by a core group of 27 leaders known as the Guardians for Inclusive Capitalism. The Guardians include the CEOs of MasterCard, Visa, and Bank America, the presidents of the Ford Foundation and the Rockefeller Foundation, along with a host of others. Together, the council represents 200 million employees in 163 countries, and it has $2.1 trillion in market capitalization. If the Council for Inclusive Capitalization with the Vatican were a nation, its market value would be more than the market value of the United Kingdom, but not quite as much as the market value of France. The Guardians will meet annually with Francis and Turkson to receive guidance on how to reform capitalism. The Pope said, and I quote, an economic system that is fair, trustworthy, and capable of addressing the most profound changes and challenges facing humanity and our planet is urgently needed. He went on to say, you have taken up the challenge by seeking ways to make capitalism become more inclusive, a greater inclusive instrument for integral human well-being. He's always looking out for the little guy. Like the Clintons and the Rothschilds, Pope Francis espouses an economic philosophy often called state capitalism, but which used to be called corporatism. Pure socialism is direct government control with no intermediaries. Corporatism, however, allows private enterprise, but at the same time manages that enterprise via connected swaths of the economy called corporations. Grieved by what he saw as the twin evils of capitalism and communism, Pope Leo XIII penned an encyclical. It was entitled Rerum Novarum. He did this in 1891 to describe Catholic corporatism. Now, he really meant Roman Catholic corporatism because he wasn't the Pope over all the Catholic groups. There are 3 of them. Its premise was that equality is a cruel illusion, that people are happiest when placed in a hierarchy guided by the Roman Catholic Church. Competition is spiritually demeaning, he wrote. Therefore, business, labor, and the state must work together in corporations. These corporations would control the economy by setting quotas, prices, and wages. They would also regulate individual behavior in order to protect the social order and supposedly provide a just standard of living for all. Do you see it? This is basically industrial age feudalism. The guardians would regulate what they called just wages, prices, and quotas, but under the overall guidance of the Pope and the prefect of the dicastery for the promotion of integral human development, whatever that is. Where else do you see such a system? Well, the only answer I could come up with is Communist China. China's an atheist state. It's got a rocky relationship with the Catholic Church. But the Chancellor of the Pontifical Academy of Social Sciences has praised Communist China as the world's best implementer of Catholic social doctrine. Did you get that? Not fond of communism, not fond of capitalism. But in terms of Catholic social doctrine, it's China that they see the greatest pattern. We're told that the Roman Catholic Church has negotiated a secret concordat with China that gives this atheist regime the direct role in appointing Catholic bishops. This in the hope that the deal would pave a way for full diplomatic relations between the Vatican and the Politburo of the Chinese Communist Party. Together, these two power centers could put a lot of pressure on Europe and the United States to reform capitalism, to make it better. The Council for Inclusive Capitalism, the China Concordat, and the Pope's meddling in American politics all have a common theme. They are bids to restore the Holy Roman Empire. That's the author's conclusion, not mine. Bible prophecy describes a great church in the end time that holds significant political influence with the kings of the earth. It has special power over a union of nations described in symbolic terms as a beast, Revelation chapter 17. Many prophecies reveal what this religious system will do in these days, and the term beast describes the ruthlessness. Verse 6 prophesies that God will deliver his people, Israel, over to this Lady of Kingdoms because of their many sins. Rejection of him, rejection of his Son, the Lord Jesus Christ. The author of this piece seems to think this means the United States and Great Britain. Not sure how he comes to that conclusion. The author says that Roman Catholic leaders are making economic and political deals around the world to blot out free market capitalism and its primary defender, the U.S. If the Pope can bring America's enemies, foreign and domestic, into an economic alliance against the United States, people will learn what it means to be victims of the Holy Roman Empire, he writes. The author recommends the writings of Herbert W. Armstrong, if that explains anything about what he's writing, and all of what I have deleted purposely.